Now we're ready for the T-harness connection. We've turned the ignition switch around to get access from the top here. You're going to notice you have the green plug as well as the blue plug. The green plug, the housing, we're going to change out for the supplied one in the package for the black housing. Next in the installation, we're going to use this H-harness, which allows you to get power from the plug on the other side. The vehicles were equipped with an electronic shifter, do not have power in that regular plug. So this just avoids you from having to run power to the battery. First step we're going to do is we're going to unplug the green connector and change out the housing. I like to use just a right-angled pick for this. When we disconnect it, you can pull it out far enough where you can work with it and change out that housing. So we've replaced the housing. This green housing is not going to be used in the installation, so you can either just hand it back to the customer and explain why it's been removed, or just hold on to it for when the customer returns his vehicle at the end of a lease or sells his car and wants to remove the starter. Next step, we're going to disconnect the blue plug from the key cylinder as well. Now that we've gotten that disconnected, we're going to go ahead and install this H connector here. The easiest way I've found to do that is to turn the ignition switch around and get access from where you usually put the key or the push button from the front, so you can just plug those back in. Make sure they're plugged in all the way. Now you're going to pass these two connectors back through the hole, back to the top of the steering column. So at this point we can turn the switch around, just leave it there. So now we've got the two originals, one of them which we've changed out the housing, and then the two coming that we've plugged in with the H harness. Now we've got the T harness out. We're going to connect the female part up to the original harness. And then take the other side of the T harness going to the remote starter and plug it into this H connector. Now we're left with one connector, one female and one male, which is the original blue connector from the ignition harness that we disconnected. We're going to plug that one into the last plug. Now your connections are complete, so you can just turn your ignition switch back around and just snap it back into its holding pins.